All right, we're back for our afternoon calendar. We had 5 preliminary examinations scheduled for this afternoon. We took 1 waiver. A couple of cases had to be adjourned because of the unavailability of a witness. And 1 was adjourned because a new attorney appeared. So that leaves us with People versus Dustin Allen Wired. Mr. Wired is here with his attorney, Mr. Ross Truckee. Let me get this squared away here and make a record. I met you last week, but let's identify you again for the record. Are you Dustin Allen Wired?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Wired, you're here with your lawyer, Mr. Ross Truckee. The file number in this matter is 26647FY. You're charged with assault with a dangerous weapon. It's alleged that you made an assault upon Noah Dooley with a dangerous weapon, to wit, a baseball bat.
4 years in prison for a baseball bat. That's not a property dispute anymore. That's a felony. And Mr. Wired just said no to a deal that would have made this all go away. Bold move. Let's see if it pays off.
That qualifies as a dangerous weapon. That's a felony. It's punishable by up to 4 years in prison and a fine of up to $2,000. Count 2 alleges that you made a similar assault on Mackenzie Brigham with a wooden baseball bat. It's a felony punishable by up to 4 years in prison as well. You're also charged with 2 counts of resisting and obstructing a police officer. Officer Cole Lusby of the Centerville Constantine Police Department, and David Loza, also with Centerville Constantine Police Department. And Hunter Bowersox of the Michigan State Police. So there's 3 R&O charges. Those are felonies punishable by up to 2 years in prison. Chief Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Gary Gabriel is here, and he was here last week at the pre-exam conference. There was a plea offer made at that time, and I'm going to reiterate it here.
Your Honor, there's been a different plea offer made based on conversations.
Okay.
I'm going to put that on the record.
All right. So we had a plea offer last week. What's the plea offer at this time?
Your Honor, after speaking with victims, Mr. Dooley, as well as Officer Dave Loza, we were extended to Mr. Weird an opportunity to enter a plea of guilty to attempted resisting and obstructing a police officer, 1 count, and 1 count of disorderly person disturbing the peace as far as the assault with dangerous weapons. So we dismissed both of those counts as well as the other 2 R&Os for a plea to the 2 misdemeanors.
All right, that did change the offer. All right, as we discussed last week, those are felony cases and serious ones. Felonious assaults punishable by up to 4 years in prison. Disturbing the peace is a completely different type of offense. That's a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 90 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. Doesn't matter who was right or wrong or who started it. Was there a quarrel, argument, or disturbance in a public place? There are 3 counts of resisting and obstructing a police officer, which are felonies. Prosecutors agreed to dismiss all 3 of those charges for a plea to 1 misdemeanor charge of attempting to resist or obstruct a police officer. Judge McManus, who was back there, who was the judge here for many years, appears to say even if a police officer is wrong, he's right. And under that theory, sometimes people end up being charged with resisting and obstructing a police officer. I don't know any of the facts, so they've offered to dismiss all 5 felony charges, including 2 serious assault charges and 3 R&Os for 2 misdemeanor pleas. Mr. Truckee, what's the defendant's position here?
I've relayed that offer and Mr. Wired has declined to accept today. If the court would like to make a record with Mr. Wired directly on that point, I would appreciate it.
All right, I would. I was a little surprised I don't know any of the facts, Mr. Wired.
Right.
But it's a big way down from 2 counts of felonious assault to kind of disturbing the peace. That doesn't even matter who started it. Was there some sort of ruckus? Resisting and obstructing, as I said, isn't very hard to prove. Now, this hearing today is called a preliminary examination. A preliminary examination is a hearing. You don't get found guilty or not guilty at a preliminary examination. The prosecutor has the burden of establishing beyond a preponderance, or excuse me, a probable cause standard, which is even less, to believe that a crime was committed and you did it. And if that occurs and the court finds that there is probable cause, binds the matter over to circuit court. That's an old term. They used to take the files and bind them up with red string, carry them upstairs. It goes to circuit court, in which case the prosecutor withdraws all plea offers, and you're going to ride the rapids on 5 felony charges. So I was a little surprised last week, but you were quite certain in your demeanor and delivery that that's what you wanted to do. I just want to make sure that you're not jumping off a cliff here that you might later regret. If you do plead to this charge, I won't sentence you today. I would get some more information rather than shoot from the hip on these 2 misdemeanor charges. But that's the status of the case. And Mr. Gabriel, you reiterate, if the matter's bound over, there's no further plea negotiation.
That's correct, Your Honor. We'll get our circuit court trial date and we'll proceed. And unfortunately, that'll have a lot of felonies on this young man's record.
All right, Mr. Wired, I don't know what else to say. It's up to you. You're a man of your own mind. But that's the status. You got these misdemeanor offers. If you enter a plea, I won't sentence you today. We'll get more information. Felonies will go away. So is that what you wish to do, or you still wish to have the preliminary examination?
I'm not accepting it.
All right, well, that was.
And I want body cams of that day because that'll show I did not resist. I was in my house when they got there.
Well, don't say anything yet.
We'll proceed with the preliminary examination, and the evidence will come in as it comes in, Mr. Wire.
All right, like I said, you were pretty certain on your position. Defendant rejects all plea offers. All right, are the people ready to proceed?
We are, Your Honor.
Or could I have a tablet? We probably should sequester the witnesses. That's a circumstance where the witnesses are compelled to wait outside until it's their opportunity to testify. Yeah, if you want to have a. All right, Mr. Gabriel, who's your first witness?
Your Honor, we're going to call Noah Dooley. I'm going to identify Officer Loza as my investigating officer.
All right, Officer Loza may remain. I'd ask that Officer Lusby wait outside. Anybody else?
Just approach the judge.
I'm right over here. This is a bit of an odd circumstance, but that's the witness box right over there. You have to kind of circle around. We're going to use this chair.
I need to be here. Okay.
All right, the first thing I need to do is swear you in.
Okay.
Would you please raise your right hand? State your name for the record.
No, Stephen Dooley.
You swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief.
I do.
Well, that's great. Where I've got him seated in the witness box is directly between you and the camera. So it's a nice view of the back of your head. So it's not your fault.
Give me a slide over.
Yeah, why don't you slide over?
I can be over here. I just can't
No,
see
you're
if I'm
fine.
sitting.
That's good. That's a good spot. Yes. What? Well, you did. I moved it, but that's the way we did it last time. But I think it was Abby or somebody who was much shorter. All right, Mr. Gabriel.
All right, sir, again, could you state your name for the record and spell your last name?
No, Stephen Dooley, last name Dooley.
Okay, and back last Saturday, Saturday, April 11th of 2026, where were you living?
325 Westboro Street, Federal, Michigan.
And do you still live there now?
I do. We have accepted offer on the home as of yesterday.
Okay, when you mentioned we, who else lives there with you?
I live there with my girlfriend, Kennedy Brigham, but I am the owner.
Okay. How long have you lived there?
You purchased it. It's closed January 31st of 2025. So we hadn't moved in maybe February 1st, February 2nd, so 16 months or so.
All right, and while you've been living there, have you come to know a person by the name of Dustin Allen Wired?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, and how is it that you knew him?
He lived next door to me.
All right, and you see him present in the courtroom today?
Yeah.
Could you point him out and describe what he has on for the record?
He's right there wearing a Puma polo.
Okay. Your Honor, could the record reflect identification?
Okay.
Prior to that April 11th date, you and Mr. Wired had any interaction?
We interacted here and there, just kind of as neighbors, I suppose. Said hi to him, and my neighbor on the other side of where they remember their names, but probably in the month of February 2025, when we first started living there, and then just from there was hi here and there. Talked to his daughter a few times,
Okay.
smaller, probably elementary school. Her daughter I talked to, but it was always fine. We talked in March about some golf balls as well. Like he was telling us kind of how it was the next day, but casual.
Okay, let me get some bearings in my head here. So you live on Burr Oak, that street runs east and west,
Yes,
and your house is on the south side or the north side?
I'm not West Burrow Street.
Pardon me?
West Burrow Street. So
Right.
I guess I'm not sure.
Okay, so, okay, you know, the south side would be the side heading towards the school.
We are heading towards Three Rivers,
Okay,
which is the whole street, I guess, but
right. What I'm trying to get a handle is what side of the street are you on? The north side, which would be the side closest to 86, or the south side, which heads back towards the school?
I would think the north side, but I mean, it's very close to right here. I'm not great
Okay,
directionally.
let me try this now. You know where the funeral home is
I do.
on Burr Oak? Are you on the same side of the street as the funeral home or the opposite side?
I get what you're saying now. We are on the same side of the street as the funeral home.
And Mr. Weird's house is on the same side as you?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying now. Yes,
Is he-
both of our houses are on the same side as the funeral home.
Is he closer to the funeral home or further away from the funeral home?
Closer to the funeral home.
Okay, so now I have an idea in my mind where he lives. Never had any bad interaction with him? Any complaints, anything like that, or you got into any kind of an argument?
No.
Okay, now I want to call your attention to April 11th of 2026.
Yep.
Around, looks like 10 o'clock at night or something, close to 11.
Yeah.
Were you and your girlfriend present at the home at that time?
Yes.
Anything had been going on earlier that Saturday evening that involved Mr. Wire?
No.
Something happened then that caused you to ultimately call the police, is that correct?
Correct.
You call 911.
Correct.
Can you tell the court what happened leading up to that call?
Yes, I was playing PlayStation with my friends at my desk in the living room. I had headset on, right around 10:50.
Slow down a little bit because, just slow down.
Okay. Had my headset on around 10:50, 10:55. I was done playing Come to the Night pretty much at about the same time as I take my headset off. Mackenzie said she heard shouting coming from that direction. I said, "Oh, I heard it well." The shouting was followed up by banging, kind of loud banging, kind of sounded like it was maybe coming from his driveway and his back house in general. There was one bang I remember hearing, it sounded like it could have been like siding, like it sounded closer than the other bangs. Then followed up by that, 2 cars parked on Monroe Street, skirted off, I guess would be the best way to put it. They were kind of in front of his house. And I wasn't really sure. To me, when I kind of heard that, saw that, I thought maybe some people.
What do you mean they skirted off?
Like it was a way that they sped off, but they spun their tires.
All right, so two
skirt.
separate cars
Yes.
drove away, okay.
Yes, I think one might have been a white truck or a red truck, maybe a white or red, I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, so they peel off and that's the skirting noise that it made.
Okay, before you go any further, let me get an idea. As far as you mentioned the driveway, is the driveway between your house and Mr. Wired's house, or is it on the other side of Mr. Wired's house?
We have like 5 feet of grass, maybe 10 feet of grass that's kind of split our properties, but
Okay.
His driveway is, like I have mowed the grass right next to his driveway, it's extremely close right there.
Okay, so it's pretty close to your house.
Yeah, very close. So anyway, I see those cars fly off after they're banging around stuff in his house. So to me, I'm like, okay, something's going on over there, as if someone just hit his property and they drove up. So I hop out, I ask what's going on.
Pop out meaning what?
So I open my door, Mechanic's behind me, so I open my back door. Typically the door I come in and out of for the most part. Open the back door, and that's when he leaves his house, he's kind of walking around, walks towards the back of his property or the back of his driveway, which goes up to his garage. That's where he is the bat. I asked him what's going on. At first, I thought it was that. I figured he heard noise and was maybe.
Okay, so if I was in your house and I opened that back door and looked out, give me an idea what I would see.
You look to your left, and that's his driveway. That's his property, pretty much. Just builds your whole view. You see Dustin kind of standing next to his truck that's closest to me. So if this driveway is 24 feet wide, he's on the 12-foot side that's closest to my property.
Okay, closest to your property.
Yep.
And when you first see him, what is he doing?
Just kind of stomping around out there. I would say just walking around. Looks like he's sort of vigilant, but he has a bat in his hand. So I see that.
So he has something in his hand.
Yes.
A baseball bat?
A baseball bat.
Is this a full-length baseball bat like you play baseball with?
Like a full-length wooden baseball bat. So I guess if you put a baseball and use a wooden bat, yeah.
What if anything is he doing with that bat?
Well, we just kind of tapping it along. Once he started talking, that's kind of when I picked up on it all. Tapping the bat, looks agitated.
Tapping it how?
In the hands.
So he's got the bat in one hand and he's tapping it in his other hand?
Correct.
Okay.
I'm
And
not saying this happened for our entire 1-minute interaction within the entire time. Yes, I did see that happen.
all right. So when you first come out, you first go out, you see him.
Yeah.
That's when he's walking around his own property with the bat,
Yep.
tapping his hand.
Which I totally, that makes sense at the time. It seemed like something was going on over there.
Okay.
Figured he was trying to get spotted to see who's out there. Obviously see what people drift off, but that makes sense.
Okay, so that didn't alarm you at that point in time because there was no attention drawn to you. What happens then?
I asked him, hey man, what's going on? You know, I'm or a scare, whatever you want to call it. That's pretty odd. Noise, cars flying around, and just kind of beats me with aggression right there. He just starts, no, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna swear. No, fuck that. Let's go. I'm confused. Like, what are you talking about, man? Like, I'm just trying to ask you what happened. I heard this car. No, you're not fooling me. This is bullshit. You and your little girl, you move here, you buy a house. I see you looking out the windows. You're not an athletic director. Like, you're not fooling me. Athletic director. You're not an AD. Sorry, that's what it is. You're not an AD. AD is short for athletic director. That is my profession. It was a point of emphasis, I guess.
Okay, does he raise his voice?
I wouldn't say he was screaming. I mean, it's only probably 15 feet from me, maybe 20 at the most. I guess I'm thinking to take them to it and meditate, but he's on the closer side of the driveway to me. So, yeah, I think his voice is stern. It's kind of yelling at me, but
Okay.
so let's go. And then I start to say, man, I'm not trying to cause a problem. I'm just telling you, I saw those cars straight away. I heard the banging. I'm trying to see what's going on.
Okay. Are you telling him that?
I was trying to, yeah. I was trying to tell him because I wanted him. He seemed like he was agitated with me. I didn't understand. I was kind of trying to see it from the standpoint. I heard it too. I was just trying to talk to him, and then I picked up pretty quick that he had a problem with me. So I took another stab and say, like, hey man, I'm just trying to tell you. You know, it's not more like, no, you're not fooling me. Let's go.
Okay, so you mentioned your girl, Mackenzie Claire Brigham.
Yes,
Am I saying that right?
correct.
Who is that?
She is my girlfriend. She is.
Okay, that's fine. That's good enough.
Yeah.
She was there that night.
Yep, she's standing right behind me across that door.
Okay, so at the time that he's banging his or doing whatever with his bat into his hand saying, let's go, she's right there with you.
Correct.
And how did that make you feel when he said that?
15 feet, a wooden bat, and a guy screaming, let's go. Legally speaking, that's assault. You don't have to swing. You just have to make someone fear for their safety. Question for you. Would you have closed the door? V3.
Once I realized, I'm like, yeah, I mean, he wants to fight. Like, this is, he's angry. He wants to fight. He seems to have a problem with me. So yeah, I mean, I was scared. I certainly felt like if he were to charge me, you know, I wasn't sticking out my door very much. I was trying to close it and get away from him. But no, I mean, it was threatening. It was certainly threatening. He's got that. I had no protection handy. I didn't think I was gonna have a problem with my door. So
you didn't have any weapons with you?
no, I mean, I could have reached, you know, 8 feet back in the kitchen.
Just slow down. You didn't have any weapons on you.
Correct. I did not have any weapons.
You didn't call him any names.
No,
You didn't challenge him.
no,
And you didn't understand why he was threatening you.
correct. I thought that was odd.
Okay. And you knew your girlfriend. How did she react to this? Did she appear to be laughing it off, or was she worried?
No, she was probably more scared than I was, I would say.
So at that point in time, you close the door,
Yeah, close the door and lock it.
and what do you then do?
Call 911.
Okay. And then the police come?
Yes, yeah, it should have probably, 5 minutes maybe, didn't take very long.
Okay. And you made a statement to the police?
Yeah, I saw them, they kind of parked in front of my house, a couple of them, they walked towards his house, and I wanted to talk to one of them. Yeah, I talked to dispatch for a little bit, but I wanted to talk to a guy, and then what the plan was.
Okay, I just want to make sure the police came and the police interviewed you.
Yep, yeah. I was talking to, I should say, maybe there's one officer I was talking to, and like the gentleman that's outside now, he came in with me, his partner went to his house, and then took a break in our conversation so that he could go join them.
When you went back in your house and you called the police, did you observe out the windows or anything where Mr. Wired would have been? Did you just not?
So after, well, we went back in the house, and that's when we started to hear noise. That's when we started to hear banging, which was apparently him hitting his own bat on his own truck, which was the truck closest to us. So we did hear that. I didn't really observe that. In the interaction as well, he said something along the lines of, I see you guys peeking out your windows, so certainly didn't want to peek out my windows after hearing that, but I mean, we had heard the beating of his own truck and stuff kind of getting pounded, which there was debris in our yard. I think there's still a little bit of debris in our yard, so we heard that, but then, from there, once the police really arrived, once, let's say, reinforcements, then we tried to observe what was going on and just know what was going on at that point. They're pretty directly involved, so
Okay.
we did not initially start to observe.
Okay, so just let me ask you, if you're there when the police arrived, do you hear the police ordering him to come out of his home?
Not at first.
Okay, that's all I ask. If you didn't hear it, that's all I want to know. Okay.
I heard it later.
Yeah. Okay, so you were there when you did hear police ordering him to come out of the house?
Yes, that was probably 25 minutes after that point when they had a lot of cars there and here they were trying to get him out. They were person.
Let me ask you this then. After you hear the banging on what you believe to be him hitting his truck, do you see him leave?
No.
Okay, so you didn't see him go in the house?
I did not see him go into the house, no.
Okay. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
This is Mr. Truckee. He represents Mr. Wire. He has questions for you as well, and you're still under oath.
Maybe that, and I'll take mine. I don't know if it makes a difference. Star Trek world here. Good afternoon, Mr. Dooley. You're the athletic director at Colon? All right, proud graduate. So we'll jump right into things here. The night of this interaction, did you exit your house?
When it first started going on, I poked my head out, which you probably see my fire having from my shoulders. That's when we first started talking. Later, after they took him away, I did go outside and said, let my dog out. Right.
But during the interaction with Mr. Wired, would you say just your upper torso kind of leaning out the window?
Yeah.
Hey neighbor, what's going on over there?
Correct.
He's tapping the bat in his hand. You testified to that, correct?
Correct.
Did he cock it back to throw it?
No.
Did he take a charge at you?
He did not.
Did he take any steps toward you?
I mean, he shortened the gap by walking from his front door to the front of his property over to that area of the sidewalk. So where he originally was at 40 feet from me, that gap was close to 15 feet or so.
Okay. And was there any vehicles in the driveway?
Yeah, there was at least a truck that was pretty out of commission. That was like the closer side to my property. I believe maybe a black Charger might be his as well was in there, but besides the vehicle I saw later on, the big truck, that's the one we had.
There's a truck in the driveway, you said?
Yeah.
What part of his driveway was it in?
Like the part closest to my property. If you could cut his driveway to the side that's closest to my property.
Okay, in the rear of his drive near his garage?
Yes, correct. The rear of his truck is probably 8 feet from the front of his garage.
Okay. So as you look out your door, you see this whole truck broadside.
Yeah.
And where was Dustin standing in relation to that truck when you had the interaction?
Probably right by the right side of the bumper.
Opposite you? Or
Yeah, that would be the right, yeah. So, we're talking, if truck bumper is about 5 feet wide, he's probably on the side of it furthest from me, 3 feet from the side closest.
was the truck in between him and you?
He's kind of like back around the back end of that right side.
Like I am to the table?
Obviously, like you are at the table, yeah. Maybe a little bit more towards your stand, but.
To have gotten to you, he'd had to make some moves around that truck?
I mean, you could have just started walking probably like you can right now.
Okay. Did he threaten, did he say anything? Like, I'm gonna hit you with this bat, for example? Anything like that?
No, he said, let's go a number of times, and then I'm not fooling him, and so was the let's go. I'm not, say this, let's go.
As an athletic director, I bet you hear kids yell, let's go a lot.
Yeah, a number of different ways.
Tom Brady, right? So Mackenzie, she's behind you this whole time? So is she poking out of the house?
No, she wouldn't have really been able to get around me, but God, she's very much without.
Right. And at the time you decided, forget about this, you locked the door, right?
Yeah.
And no further interactions with Mr. Wired that night, other than hearing what you suspect was him smashing on his own truck?
Correct.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I had no interaction with him. I mean, in my opinion, him smashing his own truck is no different than an interaction between him and I. I heard other noises of him smashing things, apparently at his own house, in his own house. I heard that very clearly, and that was backed up by clear damage to his house too. So that was not an incident. And I would say as well, the timing of the truck smashing like that was, you know, to her and I would say that was intimidating as well. Something happened right after he closed the door. You know.
At any point, did you fear that he was able to batter you immediately?
No, I wouldn't say that's correct. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty close to all the way in my house. Could he have came up to me and I locked the door, of course, but
If a couple intermediate things happened, maybe he could have battered you, correct? Like he approaches you further, comes through your door, then it would have been a different story?
yeah, that would have been the story. Or if I would have just walked outside my house and not just poked my head again, I don't know, I just poked my head because that's how I went about it at the time. For that night, I had no issues with them to where I would have been worried that something like that would happen.
Do you feel that the gap that was between the two of you provided some insulation from an immediate battery?
Certainly, I suppose so. I mean, a bat's only 4 feet long, he's 15 feet from me, so in that sense, yeah. I don't think that takes away from, you know, still having that feeling of being threatened. You know, it is, you know, it's your neighbor, he seems quite agitated, and it's not that far from me, and he knows where I live, he knows where I live, and all those things. So yeah, but I guess immediate, no. But that's just like I told the police, I didn't tell the police. The distances, I think, pretty clear on that. That's the point out there.
Thank you, Mr. Dooley. I don't have any other questions.
Okay.
Let me make sure I understand this. I think the term close the gap took place.
Yes.
You were exposed outside your house.
Yes.
And your girlfriend was right there behind you.
Yes.
And Mr. Wired is obviously wired up. Something's going on. He's banging the bat, and then he sees you and he starts challenging you. Come on, let's go, let's go. As he's doing that with the bat, he's not joking. He appears angry, and he comes towards you with the bat. Correct?
He walked towards that spot with the bat, then began to say what he said.
Coming towards you.
Yeah, he went from the front of his property, which was a very far distance from me, about 40 yards at that point to, you know, now we're 15 feet. So yeah, I mean, that's accurate. That gap was very much closed, and I think, you know,
Okay.
that's the kind of issues that,
So he closes the gap from where he was when he first saw you and you first interacted with him. And he's banging the bat on his hand, telling you, let's go. And he's coming closer to you, and you react how? What do you do?
again, the first thing I wanted to do.
No, just what did you do?
I tried to say, hey, you know, you got this mixed up, just listen to me for a second, I was trying to explain.
That's what you said. Did you stay out there, or did you close the door to create a barrier between yourself and Mr. Wired?
After about 30 seconds, 45 seconds of that, I closed the door.
And why did you close the door?
Because I was worried about where to go. I was worried that if I stayed out there, it eventually to a point where it could get physical, or I have to, or he would come to me, and then I would have no choice but to try to quickly close the door. I mean, and that's, you never know that, goes. I mean, 50 feet only takes 3 seconds, maybe 2.5 seconds to get there. So if he does charge me and I wait that long to see that violation come to my door, then I don't know. So
You closed the door because he was coming towards you with the bat. Is that true or not true?
that's true in the sense that he had that behind the truck. He was originally not behind the truck. He walked from where he was with the bat, and that is when we began to have our interaction.
Okay, I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Anything further for this witness?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You may be excused. You're free to stay and watch the remaining of the proceedings or go on about your business.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm gonna call Cole Leslie, Your Honor.
You have to kind of twist around here. Good afternoon. Thank you for your patience. Do you swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give here will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief? Have a seat and state your name and spell your first and last name for us.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, how are you employed? Okay, I'm gonna ask you to pull yourself a little closer, and my hearing's going, so speak loud in this room, okay? All right, how long have you been a police officer?
Approximately 2 years.
And have you always been here in Centerville?
Yes, for the 2 years, yes.
Okay, and you're ML Coles certified? And what are your particular duties here when you're assigned to Centerville?
Respond to calls, patrol the village.
And when you do that, are you in uniform? Similar to what you have on right now?
Correct.
And when you arrive at a location, are you in a marked police car?
Yes.
Okay, I want to call your attention to April 11th of 2026. Did you have occasion to be dispatched to a particular location around 10:30, 10:20 something that evening?
Gary, if I could, I'm concerned the red light is on the witness's microphone. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Okay, so did you have occasion to be dispatched to a particular location Saturday, April 11th of 2026?
I was.
Where were you dispatched to?
It was, I don't recall the exact address, but it was off of Baroque.
Speak up, please.
I don't remember, I don't recall the exact address, but it was off of Baroque Street in Centerville.
Had you been given any information from dispatch while you were being sent there?
I did, yes.
What did they tell you?
The information was, essentially, it was a lot of back and forth that we were trying to figure out as we were going. But a possible, there was possible people out in the street with a bat. There was yelling, screaming. There was multiple callers.
Okay, let me back up. So when you get dispatched, they're giving you some kind of an idea of what you're walking into, correct?
Correct.
What did they tell you? That there
So
was a neighborhood fight, that there was a shooting, that there was a bank robbery? What did they tell you?
they told us that their original caller stated that there was neighbors possibly fighting, arguing, yelling outside, that kind of thing. They did mention a bat.
Okay. So you went to this location, correct?
Correct.
If you reviewed a police report, would you be able to tell the court the location that you went to?
Yes.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Okay.
Does that refresh your memory?
Yes.
Location where you sent it?
315 West Oak Street in Centerville.
That's here in Centerville, Michigan,
It is.
St. Joe County.
Yes.
What did you arrive? What did you see?
We initially made contact. I initially seen neighbors on both sides of the street outside. We got out of our patrol vehicles and made contact with the neighbors on the north side of the roadway that were outside.
Who were those people?
Autumn Baker.
Okay.
She,
Well, I don't even know what she said.
no, I'm just saying at that point, then I turned around and when I looked across the street is when I seen the defendant at his house.
Did you know this person?
Yes.
Does he have a name?
Okay, yes.
What is it?
Dustin Wired.
How long have you known Dustin Wired?
I've had quite a few interactions with Dustin Wired through policing.
Yeah. So when you see him, you know who he is.
Correct.
Present in the courtroom today?
Yes.
What does he have on?
He's wearing a black shirt.
Okay. When you saw him, would you describe what he was doing?
When I saw him, he was holding a bat in his hand.
How?
He was holding it, he held it and then he would put it in his other hand, and that was the first contact. Like he went like this and he told me that if I made another step forward, it was going to be death by police.
Okay, so again, because it's what you're saying, I need to have a transcript to show it. So you were showing both hands. One seemed to have an open palm, and the other hand seemed to be gripping something.
Yes.
What would it have been gripping from what you saw?
A wooden baseball bat.
Okay, and how was it being moved?
Initially, it was being moved to transition to the other hand.
Transition or
like,
just
or not
touch?
transition, touched, sorry.
Okay, so he's hitting the other hand with the bat,
Correct.
his hand.
Correct.
And then you approach him and he actually, says something to you?
Yes, he told me if I took another step onto his property that it was going to be death, I believe death by police officer, or death by cop is the term that he used.
Now, at this point in time, had you been given some information that led you to believe he had been doing something with the bat that you had to investigate?
Yes.
Okay, so tell us what happened.
Well, I asked him to put the bat down so I could, investigate further. And he told me he wasn't going to do that.
Where was he when that was happening?
He was on his front porch. He has like an enclosed porch, and he was in the doorway of the enclosed porch. And I was standing a few feet away on the property line.
Go ahead. So you asked him to put the bat down so you could find out what was going on?
Yes, I approached him like normal because again, I have good rapport with him. And this time was different. So when I approached him, he told me, don't come step on his property. Otherwise it's gonna be death by cop. I told him to put the bat down so we could talk. And at that point, we kind of went back and forth with putting the bat down. He told me no several times. And at that point is when I requested Officer Loza, that was a house down, respond in so we could de-escalate the situation.
Okay. Now, you've been out in the hallway, you've seen a civilian witness that we called, Mr. Dooley. Did you ever talk to Mr. Dooley in your part of the investigation?
I did not talk to I didn't investigate I didn't interview him at all throughout the.
Okay, right. I want to make sure did Mr. Wired ever put the bat down at your request?
At my request, no.
Okay. So did he remain on that porch, or what happened after you asked him to put the bat down?
Well, Officer Loza arrived. We tried talking to him. reasoning with him to put the bat down. And at a certain point, with him not putting the bat down and knowing his back history, I backed off of the scene to let him cool down, to try to see if that would, let himself cool down. While we waited we requested extra officers to assist with, going and de-escalating this at this point.
Okay. So at this point in time, before you decided to step back and try to de-escalate, did he always remain there on that front porch, in that front porch area?
No. So when we backed off, at a certain point, he did go back inside for a brief moment.
Back inside?
Back inside of his residence.
The main part of the house?
Correct. And I could hear windows breaking inside the house. And then shortly after that, he exited again.
Exited what?
He exited the residence back to the front porch again. But it was a brief moment that he was inside. And shortly after, responding units arrived, or the requested backup that we had arrived. And at that point, we all approached trying to tell him to put the bat down.
So he continued to hold the bat even when he came back out onto the porch?
Yes.
Was he doing anything with the bat when he came back out on the porch?
Yes, he smashed a few of the windows out of his, using the bat, of the front enclosed porch area.
You mentioned that you've interacted with Mr. Wired before and you haven't had any particular unique problems. Did he appear to be acting like he normally acts?
No.
In what way?
Typically, I can talk to Mr. Wired and we can usually come to a resolution, calm him down, that kind of thing. To walk up to Mr. Wired and immediately be confronted by death by cop and that kind of thing, it was very odd to me. I also observed while we were sitting there talking and I was waiting on Officer Loza to come, he appeared to be talking to somebody in the house at one point in time. I asked him who he was speaking to. So the behavior was not normal.
Okay. Did this come to an end at some point in time?
It did.
And how did it end?
After the requested officers arrived, he was given several commands to put the bat down, come out and talk to us. And then ultimately at the end, he did put the bat down. And he came out to Officer Loza, where he was ultimately placed in restraints.
Okay. Put the bat down where?
He put the bat down on the front porch or the enclosed area.
Okay. And was the bat recovered?
It was.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, once again, this is Mr. Ross Truckee. He's representing the defendant. He also has some questions for you.
Okay, good afternoon, officer.
Good afternoon.
You were the first one on scene that night?
I was.
And first you went to Autumn's house, correct?
Correct.
She was out in the street?
Yes. Well, she was in front of her residence in the grass area.
And then you moved down and you didn't talk to the Dooleys, did you?
I did not.
You just went from Autumn's to Dustin's?
Yes, I went to Dustin's while Officer Loza went to the Dooleys.
Did you ever see Dustin outside?
He was the entire time I seen him, he was in his enclosed porch.
Okay. Was the door closed?
I want to say that the The door itself had a busted out window already, like it was missing. And I believe he was talking to me initially through that, but eventually he did open it.
Okay. When you say eventually, do you mean at the end of this interaction?
No,
No. Sometime during your conversation, he's talking to you while standing inside, you're outside, he's talking through this doorway.
correct. And I believe it was as we stepped back and let him cool down is when he opened it.
Were you able to hear him clearly when he was on his porch or in his porch talking to you?
At some points, yes. Again, he turned around and started talking. I asked him who he was talking to. So there are some points that, I couldn't hear him clearly, but when he was talking face to face to me, yes.
Were you there when he finally was taken into custody?
I was.
Was that without incident? Or putting the cuffs on, did that go okay?
Once he put the bat down and walked down the stairs, yeah, it was without incident.
Why were you ordering him out of his house?
We were there to investigate a crime, and I was initially just trying to talk to him, making normal contact because I have, like I said, have had several contacts with him in the past.
Did you ask him about, I want to ask you some questions, things like that?
My concern wasn't the questioning at that point. My concern was the bat and his statements. So I did tell him that I would like to speak with him, just put the bat down. But my concern was the fact that I was told that I was going to have to shoot him and he had a bat in his hand.
Was the statement, come onto my property and it's suicide by cop?
If you take another step, it'll be suicide by cop.
Okay, and where were you standing when you heard that?
I was standing on the public sidewalk.
How far from the public sidewalk to the front porch steps?
Approximately 25 feet.
Can't quite see it from here.
I would say from the edge of this podium to the edge of the railing there.
That'd be an accurate estimate of the distance from the
Approximately.
sidewalk to the.
Where I was
home.
standing to where he was at, correct.
And you told him it was a lawful command, or how did this play out?
I told him he needed to put the bat down.
How long was it before he came out with the bat down and got arrested?
From the initial contact to putting the bat down, I would say approximately 35 to 40 minutes.
Did you author a report related to this incident?
I didn't.
You did not?
No.
Nothing further, thank you.
No further questions, Your Honor.
You're on duty right now?
I am on the clock, but not on duty.
Oh, I don't know if you had to go back out and patrol. You're free to go. You're also free to stay and watch the rest of the testimony if you wish.
Okay.
You're excused. Thank you.
No, I call Dave Loza.
Thanks, Gary.
You swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give in this matter to be true to the best of your knowledge and ability. Thank you. Please have a seat. Spell your first and last name for us.
My name is David Loza, David Loza.
Go ahead.
Sir, how are you employed?
I'm employed with the Village of Constantine.
And what is your job with that village?
I am a patrol officer
How long have you been a patrol officer there?
there, approximately a year and a half to 2 years.
Do you have any law enforcement experience before that position?
Yes, approximately 15 years total.
Okay. And when you're in that position, do you also find yourself called up to Centerville?
Yes, we serve both villages.
Okay, both communities. Do you recall on Saturday, April 11th of this year, whether you were in Constantine or in Centerville?
I don't recall as to where I was at the time of the incident, but ultimately I ended up in Centerville.
Okay. So were you dispatched
Yes, sir.
to that location that you've heard
Yes.
Officer Lesby talk about? And when you arrived there, can you tell the court what you observed in that area?
I arrived there shortly after my partner, Officer Lusby. I observed people out in the yard. One female in particular. I met with her, as well as there was a dispatch note talking about her father. I briefly spoke with them, and it didn't appear that initially that they were involved. And while we were down near that residence, we could hear yelling and everything down at 315 West Burr Oak, which then led us to review our computer dispatch terminal for additional notes and the callers, and to go down there and investigate further.
Okay. As a result of doing that, did you have occasion to go to the residence that was occupied by a Noah Dooley and his girlfriend?
Yes, I did.
Okay. As you went to that residence, did you happen to see the defendant in this matter, Mr. Wired?
Yes, as initially after leaving he was standing on his front enclosed porch, yelling, as I then went and spoke with Mr. Dooley.
You tell who he was yelling at?
I have no idea.
Okay. Now, you didn't go and have any contact with him at that point in time?
Not initially, no.
You went and spoke to Mr. Dooley?
Correct.
And without going into the specifics of what Mr. Dooley told you, did that cause you to have some interest in talking to Mr. Wired about his use of a baseball bat?
Absolutely.
Okay. And did you go to talk to Mr. Wired about the baseball bat?
Yes, I did.
Tell us what happened.
After talking with Mr. Dooley, I was promptly requested by Officer Lusby because of the manner that Mr. Ward was speaking to Officer Lusby, and as well as he was armed with a baseball bat at the time. So for officer safety, I responded next door and began talking with Mr. Ward. I told him to put the bat down. He refused. He started saying, making, I guess, allegations that did not make sense. Just the words that were coming out, none of it made sense, was really not coherent. And he continued to refuse. And so we gave him some time to, we backed off his house and requested additional officers.
So you requested additional help?
Absolutely.
Why?
I have had encounters with Mr. Weird a few times. He's significantly larger than I am. And so for my officer safety, as well as my partner, I have known that he definitely has a short fuse and a temper. Normally, we've been able to kind of calm him down and get him back to being rational, if you will.
Have you
And
dealt with him when he's been rational?
absolutely,
Okay, and he didn't appear to be rational at all this time?
not at all.
Did some of additional officers arrive?
Yes,
One of them being Trooper Hunter Bowersox?
yes.
And was there another officer, Stark?
No, it would have been Sergeant Hanson from
Sergeant
White
Hanson.
Pigeon.
Okay, Sergeant Hanson. So had you given Mr. Wired any commands or requested of him to do anything?
I mean, at that point in time, we had probable cause for an arrest after speaking with Mr. Dooley. So yes, my statements to him were that, he's not free to leave. He's under arrest. He needs to put the bat down. He needs to come outside. He, again, with his allegations that at the time were not making any sense, I offered him that opportunity. If he put the bat down and came out, we could discuss and we can look into and investigate whatever else is going on. With those commands, I advised him that this was a lawful order.
And were you present when other officers made that request?
Yes,
Would one of them have been Hunter Bowersox?
yes.
And did Mr. Wired respond to any of those requests when they were made?
No, actually, at one point in time, he broke a window out over Trooper Bowersox's head because he didn't like him standing next to his window.
Okay.
Objection, foundation, I'm not aware of this witness's line of sight. I don't know if you can see any of that.
Well, I don't know. There was speculation as to why he did it, but the fact that he did it, I think he's qualified to testify to.
Thank you.
I'll note the objection, but it's not.
How did,
The evidence is admitted.
how did it come to an end?
There were multiple officers that continued to give him commands to come on out, put the bat down. I then spoke with him I was the last officer to speak with him, and I'm not sure how or why, but at that point in time, he listened to me and he came outside and put the bat down he put the bat down, then came outside and he was placed in the handcuffs.
Okay, did you have a conversation with Mr. Wired at that point?
I did.
in time? And he'd been given his Miranda rights?
Yes.
Did you talk to him about, what did he tell you as far as being a federal officer and working undercover? Or that general conversation?
Objection, relevance of statements about speculative job things.
Well, I haven't heard of it yet. There are statements of the defendant, which would be admissions.
I don't know that they're contrary to his legal interest if he's just saying things that are nonsense.
Well, certainly does
Well,
go
it
to
gives
the state of
context to
mind.
the whole circumstance, so I'll note the objection, and again, I'll allow the answer.
Thank you.
He made several statements that I thought were odd as to that there was an undercover police truck that was at his house before we arrived, because he could hear a police scanner. So there was an undercover, I don't recall if he said detective or just officer that was there prior to our arrival. He made statements that his neighbor is not an AD, which at the time I didn't know what that was, athletic director, and that his neighbor is actually a federal officer. All of these things I thought were rather odd.
Okay. Aaron, I have no further questions.
All right, once again, this is Mr. Truckey's opportunity to ask some questions. Still under oath.
Good afternoon, officer.
Afternoon.
How long would you say this interaction took place for?
Which part?
The porch part.
before or after the additional officers arrived on scene?
Did you write a report about this?
Yes, I did.
Would you like to look at it to refresh your memory about how long you felt this took place for?
Well, I'm aware. No, I don't need to. I'm aware of how long I felt. My question for you is the entire time that we spoke to him while he was on his porch, or when we spoke to him when additional officers arrived?
How long was he refusing commands?
Probably including the break that we gave him, 30, 40 minutes. The initial commands, 30, 40 minutes.
So the second batch?
Probably, I think my report says like 12 minutes, based on, I think that was from my body cam footage.
Okay. So that was 12 minutes once all of the officers were on scene?
Yes.
You had developed probable cause for an arrest at this time?
Yes.
Why didn't you go get him?
Because he was armed with a bat.
Was he in his house?
I believe most of the time, yes.
What was the probable cause for?
The probable cause was he had advanced towards his neighbor, armed with a bat.
What crime had you identified that he had committed?
Felonious assault.
How long was the break that you gave Dustin?
I don't recall.
How long was the initial attempt to provide these commands?
Maybe 10 minutes.
So 10 minutes, put the bat down, come outside. 20 minutes, cool off, maybe he'll chill out on his own. 12 more minutes.
Sounds about right.
Okay.
It took a while for additional officers to arrive on scene.
Did you have eyes on Dustin during your whole time near his front porch?
I would say mostly, yes. I had a spotlight on his house to where I could observe him on the porch. Obviously, I was making phone calls and notifications in the meantime.
Can you even use the word, this is a lawful order?
Yes. Or maybe not that, maybe this is a lawful command, maybe not order, something in those regards.
Did you have eyes on Trooper Bowersox the whole time?
He was within my line of sight the entire time, I believe.
Okay. Nothing further, thank you.
Really briefly, Mr. Truckey's made some points about timing and things of that nature. Am I correct in the fact that this Miranda statement, the Miranda rights were read to Mr. Wired about 10 minutes after midnight?
That sounds correct.
Okay. So from the initial dispatch and Officer Lusby getting there around 10:30, 10 something, it lasted almost 2 hours before you were able to get him in custody to interview him per Miranda.
If that's what it says in my report, I believe that's accurate.
Thank you. Nothing further, Your Honor. And no further witnesses.
Officer Lozey, you may step down.
Thank you.
Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Truckey, do you wish to present any evidence?
No evidence.
All right. Argument and motions?
Thank you, Your Honor. Yeah, at this time, the people would move that defendant be bound over on the charges that are filed in the information. Those include the 2 counts of assault with a dangerous weapon, as well as the 3 counts of resisting a police officer. The court's well aware, first of all, that this doesn't require assault, beat, or wound a police officer. It's only to oppose or endanger. It sounds like maybe Hunter Bowersox might have been endangered by having a window broken over his head, but both Officer Loza as well as Officer Lusby gave lawful legal commands for this individual to disarm himself, who then responded to Officer Lusby that you keep coming and it'll be suicide by cop. Regarding the felonious assault charges, I think it's clear from the testimony that our witnesses were intimidated by their neighbor's behavior. I also do believe that it's not a physical impossibility for him to have assaulted those individuals. They were the ones that closed the gap and shut the door after the individual came at them with a baseball bat, being tapped or pounded or hit into his hand, challenging Mr. Dooley to come forward. Mr. Dooley did what I hope any citizen would do, and that's A, try to find out what's going on. B, when the guy starts coming at him with the baseball bat, says that's enough, I'm closing the door and I'm calling the police. Felonious assault is to put a person in fear of being battered with a weapon. In this situation, the baseball bat's clearly a weapon, and I think through the testimony of Mr. Dooley, as well as the close proximity to his girlfriend that he knows and said was also scared and intimidated, that's what happened in this case. So for purposes of probable cause, I would ask the court to bind over on all 5 counts.
Mr. Truckee?
Thank you, Your Honor. Go down the information or the complaint here. First count is assault with a dangerous weapon on Nola Dooley. You heard Nola Dooley say today, yeah, if you did a couple other things, boy, I'd have been in harm's way. Otherwise, it was general unpleasantness. That does not sustain an assault with a dangerous weapon charge. This was not a pretty situation. We heard the testimony from Mr. Dooley. He hears this banging. He sees these cars peel out of Mr. Wired's driveway. Mr. Wired's at the front of the driveway. Noah pokes his head, upper torso out and says, what's going on out there? Then Mr. Wired comes closer to his neighbor, who asked him a question. Mr. Wired's fired up, says some odd things about, you're not an AD, maybe I think you're a federal agent. I don't know exactly what it was, but it's general unpleasantness and neighbor dispute. It doesn't, Noah Dooley testified about all this, and you heard him. He wasn't in fear of an immediate battery. He didn't believe there was the present ability to carry it out. There was a bat and general unpleasantness. Count 2 is regarding Mackenzie Bingham. She's not here. She was never outside the house. She also experienced general unpleasantness. I'm sure she was afraid. I would hate to have a neighbor dispute of this way, but I don't believe that what Mr. Dooley testified about Mackenzie's positioning, she was ever in a position to be immediately battered. So I don't believe that the 2 assault with dangerous weapons charges have enough there to be bound over. Next, we have the 3 R&O counts. Officer Lusby tells this man who's in his own home and is not a fleeing felon and is not in hot pursuit to drop a bat. Mr. Wired says, get that, I'm in my house, leave me alone. I'll die by cop if you try to get me. That's the testimony we've heard today. Officer Loza, essentially the same story. I'm in my house, leave me alone. Officer Loza says they had probable cause to get an arrest, to make an arrest, but they didn't have probable cause to call in and get a warrant, go into the house and grab him up, apparently. He's in his home, he's refusing what the officers refer to as lawful commands, and just because you say it's a lawful command doesn't make it a lawful command. He didn't have to come out, he could have went to bed, that would have been a better choice probably. Didn't have to talk to him at all. So, you know, the 4th Amendment's on life support here, but Mr. Wired's in his home. He's doing things that he's entitled to do in his home, including hold a ball bat and not talk to the police or tell the police his opinion on it. So I would ask that based on the home issue, it's uncontroverted that he's in his enclosed porch, clearly curtilage, clearly his home. The officers even testified he had to come outside so we could arrest him because he's in his home. So for that reason, I'd ask the court to consider the constitutional issues under the 4th Amendment related to Mr. Wired's conduct or alleged conduct that night and decline to bind over on the resisting officer counts. Thank you.
They legally obtain it.
Any further word, Mr. Gabriel?
Just, Your Honor, the Constitution. This isn't a child's game where, oh, I'm safe now because I'm here. This is a situation in which the man is there, he's challenging the officers. The officers have a right to investigate. Clearly, he could have said, sorry, guys, I'm going to sleep, and gone in. Instead, he busts windows, he smashes, he challenges the officers. They have a legitimate right and responsibility to say, come out, put the weapon down. Could they have charged them? Could they have caused all kinds of problems? Sure, they did. They didn't. I think what they did was the right thing. Mr. Wired finally got talked down. It's midnight by now, and he turns himself in. The court heard the testimony of Mr. Dooley. Again, was there the apparent present ability for that individual, Mr. Dooley and his girlfriend, to be assaulted? I contend that there was. Whether a jury would agree or not, I don't know. But again, for probable cause standards, I think they're sufficient.
Some of this is easy and some's not so easy. The 3 resisting and obstructing charges, there's clear probable cause on all 3 officers. The officers get dispatched to this address. They got more than 1 phone call from different neighbors. There's apparently Ms. Baker, and then there's the original caller. And the request is not unreasonable. Put the bat down so I can talk to you. And the defendant was an uncooperative menace.
I am not a menace, Your Honor.
Stop.
I have no records.
Stop. You have a record.
No, I do not. I don't have a record. These would be my first charges. I don't have a record, Your Honor. I'm a football coach. I'm a wrestling coach.
You had a retail fraud charge in 2000.
Okay, that was when I was, what, 18?
Well, don't say never. Then you got a bunch of other traffic stuff.
My bad.
So you also got an unpaid traffic ticket from 2025, but yes.
Yeah, I
you do
paid
have
a lot of
some
child
things.
support too.
All right. So I didn't ask. I didn't want to step on a landmine somewhere. I don't know if he was drunk, high, or having a mental health episode. But something happened where there was a loud noise, a disturbance. Mr. Dooley stuck his head out the door, and never having had any hostility with the guy before, and is met with nothing but hostility and an offer to come fight while he's holding a baseball bat in his hand. So the police officers are lawfully there. Their command is reasonable. Put the bat down so we can come and talk. All 3 officers, Officer Loza, Officer Bowersox, and is there everybody there? Officer Lusby, who's testified here.
Cole
before.
Lusby, right?
So all 3 counts of resisting obstructing, as Mr. Gabriel said, it doesn't have to be a fight. It just has to be fail to comply with a lawful command. Where we're struggling here is what is the definition of an immediate battery? I do not find any threat of immediate battery on a girlfriend. And her name is in the complaint. She would be count 2 of the complaint. She's in the house. She's behind her boyfriend. She's not in a position where she's a subject to immediate battery. The question, and the most difficult question in here, has always been Mr. Dooley's position. And I was listening carefully and struggling to find it in the testimony on direct. Officer Lusby did a pretty good job describing things, and then Officer Loza and the witness, Mr. Dooley. These houses are close together. They're just down the street. As Mr. Truckee said, you can almost see them from the courthouse. It's Saturday night, 10:30, nothing's going on, all of a sudden there's all this. And menace, I think, is a good word. I don't know what was going on, but Mr. Dooley didn't ask for any of this. So he comes outside, you're standing there menacingly with a bat, pumping it in and out of your hand, like in a cartoon or in the movies or something, and say, let's go. And he's trying to even figure out what's going on. Don't know who was there earlier, or who peeled out in front of your house and took off, but I think that's what precipitated this. You were mad at somebody else. Mr. Dooley was in the wrong place at the wrong time at his own house. Felonious assault contains the condition of assault. Felonious assault brings a weapon into it, and a bat is qualified as a weapon for felonious assault. But the definition of assault also includes a battery. Assault is threatening somebody. Battery is striking them or touching them. And assault is putting somebody in fear of an immediate battery. So the instructions say, to prove this charge, the prosecutor must prove each of these elements beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, as Mr. Gabriel said, whether a jury will find a reasonable doubt or not, I don't know. Our standard here today is not reasonable doubt, it's probable cause. So first, that the defendant either attempted to commit a battery, which I don't think you did, upon Stephen Dooley, or did an act that would cause a reasonable person to feel or apprehend an immediate battery. Would this cause an immediate person to fear or an immediate battery? A battery is a forceful, violent, offensive touching of the person, something connected. So I'm listening carefully on the testimony of Mr. Dooley on direct, and then on cross-examination, he pretty much undoes it. I did not feel he was immediately going to assault me. He's in a 4-foot bat and I'm 15 feet away. I would have had the ability to close the door. Then further, he answered those questions that Mr. Truckee said. If he had done a couple of other things, would he have been able to commit an immediate battery? Yes, meaning he wasn't prepared to commit an immediate battery because he hadn't done those couple of other things yet. So I was struggling for it, but I can't find it. I found it on direct and unfound it during cross-examination. All Mr. Dooley had to do is close the door. So
the judge just said the victim undid his own testimony on cross-examination. Translation: the assault charges are gone, but the resisting charges stick. Mr. Wire won the battle but lost the war. He's still going to circuit court on 3 felonies.
As Mr. Gabriel said, whether a jury would find a reasonable doubt, I don't know, but at this point I'm failing to find probable cause. I bind the defendant over on the 3 counts of resisting and obstructing a police officer. I certainly don't understand why Mr. Dooley would want to sell his house. There are conditions that you're not to have any contact with the complaining witness. Do you understand that, Mr. Wire?
We had only spoken one time before this, and that was to ask him if he wanted to buy the golf balls. That is the only time in the whole time frame.
Just don't have any contact with the
So
golf.
we'll just continue that pattern.
We'll just not have contact.
All right, then you're also hooked up with community corrections. You're enrolled with the community corrections and they're monitoring your compliance.
Yes.
Are you seeking any mental health treatment?
No, because I don't need it.
All right, as I said, I can't tell whether.
That night, they ended up
Don't
giving
say
me a
any more
breath.
about, I don't want to compromise your rights by having you say something here that might come back against you later. I'd certainly be interested to hear what your side of the story is, but this wasn't good. It was not good. You're tying up officers all over the county for several hours this night. Your neighbor, who you never had any altercation with, who says hello to your daughter, you're ready to beat him with a baseball bat because you're mad at somebody else.
I
It should be
didn't,
a stop. You should be ashamed of yourself.
sir.
This matter is bound over to circuit court on the 3 counts of resisting and obstructing a police officer. All bond conditions remain in effect, and the plea negotiations are withdrawn, and the matter will proceed for a status conference in the circuit court. Mr. Wired, you're good to go.
Again, did I understand the 3 counts plus 1 count of felonious?
No counts.
No counts of felonious, okay.
All right.
Stay in touch with me, Dustin.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, appreciate it. Sounds good.
You're outstanding.
Best I can do with you is split ticket, huh?
Yes, so. Yes, I will type in Stemple then.
Quick, get out of here.
Yeah.
When, oh, she wants to know when that's getting knowledge. What do you